Hello everyone, I'm Jitendra Singh. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today I have with me Miss Debatri Ray. Let's speak with precision. Started its journey in the year 2008. At the time, it was only creating to personal training for communication skills and IELTS as required by the clients because she was dedicated solely to her career as an English professor, which continued for 23 years. During the period, she interacted, prepared, and created to students. She found the deep void they have as far as communication was concerned. This resulted mostly to disaster in interviews in which they appeared. It was apparent that their base was not strong enough to support their qualification. Besides, as part-time IELTS trainer in various institutes, she also gathered that each student has a different mental setup and level of understanding. Unless they are too smart and proficient in their language, they can't score their desired band. When she get the problem, the solution was easy to achieve. So she started her journey of cloud-based startup. Let's speak with precision. With an MSME certification and a target to strengthen and uplift the basic English understanding of students at every level. Her clients includes B-grade schools and junior colleges of different areas who are not only improving in English but in other subjects as well. Her personalized coaching in IELTS also help students and professionals to achieve their dream band. Talking to them, she suggested a plan and path of scoring the band they require to realize their international dreams. Only when she was satisfied with their performance, she allowed them to block the exam date. The journey continues and love from her student and her gurus kept her going. Today she will be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome Debatri. The platform is open and now over to you.
Thanks a lot, Jitendra. How are you?
Great and pleasure having you on our platform. So let's start. And first thing I'd like to know from you is how did your past life affected the person who you are and what you wanted to be in your life?
Honestly speaking, the previous part of coming to Hyderabad, before I came to Hyderabad, I never thought I will definitely be a part of the education field.
Okay.
And yeah, exactly. And never, even as a child, when others would say, I want to be a teacher, I will never say that I want to be a teacher. But, as they say, destiny takes you to different places and makes or helps you to make different decisions. It so happened with me also. So after my marriage, when I shifted to Hyderabad, then a lot of things changed. And obviously after a kid, I thought this is the best profession I can join. So starting wasn't easy because never had thought of that field. But then there were different trainings that I undertook with certification for communication skills and IELTS and all that. So that helped me a lot because unless and until we are properly trained, I feel we should not be taking or plunging into any field as such. So that was one part. And since I had done my master's in English from Kolkata, that helped me a lot gradually because when I wanted to enter the teaching field, many offers kept coming from schools as well as other institutions. But then the college thing happened well. And, being a part of the Osmania University College is a great honor. So as and when I got it, I just started, teaching and getting acquainted with the students in the state. And then as I started, I saw the problems they're facing and things started happening likewise.
Right. That's great. So what are the things you are passionate about in your life?
Oh, well, there are many things I'm passionate about. The main thing is when my students, get the accolades and they come back saying that they've got their bands, or they have got the job they were aiming for, actually, that passion or that spark in their eyes really gives me a spark as well. So that is the passion of helping them grow, which I feel.
Wonderful. That is so amazing. Like helping and making them qualify,
Prepare.
prepare and
Yes,
qualify for the
exactly.
exam. That is really an
Exactly.
awesome feeling.
Thank you.
So, if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you started, what all you did so far.
Mhm. Yeah, so then I started as a communication skills trainer. In those days, Speakeasy was a very well known organization in the South. I did my certification from them and they placed me in their branches. And that was the starting of my English career as such. And then I did corporate training, personality development, grooming, everything I used to do as a part of Speakeasy Group. And once it started, obviously, I kept getting offers. After 2, 3 years, I shifted to different other organizations, institutions as well. And likewise, it all happened. And then, of course, as I was going ahead, because the English was improving, and the MTI, mother tongue influence, which is a very strong problem in the students in South as well as North, across India, I can say. So that reduction, that elimination was my main focus, because there are many students who speak very well, but at the end, when you listen to their accent, you can understand he belongs to this part or she belongs to that part, which should not be. And I was also training for call centers back in those days, if you remember, in the 90s, in the 2000s, there was such a huge requirement for call center trainers. So I was a part of that as well. So this is how the journey took me to the different parts, the phonetics, the different aspects of training, how we can do it, how we can serve them. So this is how it all began. And now I can say, looking at a student, listening to him or her, I can understand how many days he or she will need to improve. So that also is a great achievement, I would say, because not many teachers can understand that. But it comes with your experience, because after all, 24, 25 years of experience overall. So, that counts a lot. So that is how it happened.
You can understand like how long they would require to be a
Exactly.
fluent speaker.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Because see, the journey won't be same for everyone. We are all different. Some may require less time, some may require more. Some may need some modules, some may need other modules, other topics. So we have to understand that.
Right.
Because most of the institutes, what happens, we have a particular format and we take classes according to that format, whether you understand, whether you improve or not. But then, unless and until we cater to the individual requirements, how do we improve?
Right.
And there's no scope then.
Right. That's correct. And we can see these things are prevalent everywhere in India. Like
Yes.
people are not coping up with the curriculum which is prescribed by these IELTS institutions and all, because the level
Right.
of knowledge and understanding about the language is rarely found. Like we can see very less number of people are able to do these kind of exams on their own.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if I talk about your vision, mission and goal for next 5 to 10 years from now, what that should be?
A lot, actually. I dream a lot and I believe in achieving that dream. That vision and mission which I have, because I'm connected with different NGOs also. And I closely want to work with orphanages wherein I can give free education, especially skill development. And when I say skill development, I'm not only talking about English, I'm also talking about the other skills that the students should be smart of. Because see, everyone doesn't need to be an academician or they don't have to be a professional. They can go for another field also.
Correct.
Yeah. So that guidance I want to do, because they are the prime focus. You go to any A grade school, any hi-fi school, they already have the privileges.
Correct.
But what about this kids? So I have achieved that level where money is not the criteria for me. For me right now, job satisfaction and seeing them grow, as I told you, that is something I look forward to. And definitely, touch wood, in another 10 years, I will definitely do something wherein these people will definitely give or get what they deserve, number one. And of course, they will also be able to identify, because if one is qualified, I'm sure that person can qualify two more. So, it has to be a chain.
Right.
So I want to create that chain. You help, I help you, you help two more. So that way you create the chain. So I want to do that. And of course, there is one more, Let's Speak with Precision should grow more, because we should have some more branches. Only having one place in Hyderabad won't be helpful for this mission that I'm planning. I want to start off with Telangana, and then maybe, other states also, South Indian states, especially because it'll be easy for me to cater to them. And then maybe other parts of India, because it's really required. I want to pull them up.
Correct. And the first part which you mentioned about like helping people who are not so privileged, that is really a noble cause. And
Thanks.
anything onto it is really needed at this point in time, because what we are struggling is talented people, talented resources. So that is what we are looking for.
Right.
So moving on to the next one. If I talk about the most important lessons you've learned in life, maybe from personal or professional life, what are those?
Most important phase.
No, most important life lessons.
Life lessons, okay. Most important life lessons for my career, yes. There are certain stages where, unless and until the student or the parent is comfortable with you, they don't open up.
Correct.
So maybe at times I have pushed them afar. So that I shouldn't have done. That is one thing, but that happened in the initial stages when, I was also headstrong. I also thought, why he won't do, why he can't do. I mean, maybe that was something, that lack of understanding. But right now, I don't have that, because anyone walks in, even if I don't understand the language, I try to make him or her comfortable, and then he tries to open up.
Correct.
Because I also counsel these students, and during pandemic, I only do it for the orphans who can't afford, and I don't charge them. Right. So, when I do that, that understanding also helps me a lot. So that counseling, and that was the major hardship initially I faced. Right now,
when you are new to any field, these kind of
yes.
problems arise, because you need to understand your way of doing things and what others expect.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I always expected you're a student, so you should be like this. In my days, I was like that. But it shouldn't be. We should also think from their perspective.
Right.
That is important.
So any other thing you would like to share?
Challenges as such, never. Because, when I go anywhere, I go prepared. Even for my guest lectures, there were many guest lectures that keeps happening. Even during the pandemic, we had a lot of guest lectures. It doesn't happen because I need to involve the crowd. So once I do it, they don't fall asleep, my job is done. So if they fall asleep, then I'm a loser. But at any point, I should be making a point that they should find some interest or they should interact with me. So those were maybe, some challenges which took some time. But yes, of course, initial days afterwards, the teacher, my main teacher who taught me the communication skills and all, she gave me a lot of inputs about what are the books I should be reading, what are the videos I should be watching, because those days, YouTube didn't have so much content. So those were the things that I followed, and it helped a lot.
Right. So that was really wonderful. So now moving on to the discussion of the day. So as you are an expert dealing with IELTS students, helping them to prepare, so I want to understand on that front, what are the major challenges for Indian students who are looking forward for studies abroad?
There's a lot. Actually, the language itself is a major challenge, as you know, because IELTS is a test which, if you know how to crack, it's very easy. But if you don't know, it'll be tough. Of course, you have to know basic language, that is English, but you don't have to be an expert. People feel, no, I have to be very fluent, this, that. No, you just don't need to be fluent. You need to understand what is being asked, what you are answering, and the listening part, how big a listener you should be. Because, nowadays what I find in the younger generation, they don't want to listen.
Right.
They're always proactive. They just want to rush. They just want to answer. They don't have patience. That is something they have
It's
to
1927.
give up. They have to take care and they have to listen. Be a good listener to be a good performer. I tell them all. Even if you're a good student, even if you're mediocre, or even if you're someone who is struggling, you have to be a good listener.
Correct.
So that is the main thing. Apart from that, mother tongue influence, that's another issue, because speaking is a major module, and writing, because everyone has given up their habit of writing. So when it comes to essays and all, my goodness, I mean, it's really tough.
Right.
Be it a professional, be it a student, I mean, it's really tough for them to write. So those are the things. And we are not reading anymore. If you observe, since you are into this field, you will be knowing no one is reading anymore.
Correct.
We are just watching. So
Right.
when you don't read, how will you improve the vocabulary? How will you improve your sentence construction? These are the major challenges
Right.
any Indian student will have.
1928.
Correct. So further to this, if I talk about like how to prepare, how to plan and prepare their IELTS for a better score, what they should do.
See, again, IELTS will vary from person to person. So first thing is we have to find out which module they are weak in, because everyone won't be weak in everything. So
Correct.
once we identify if the student is weak in speaking, we have to give more importance, more thrust in that area. If we find the student is weak in reading, which is the other module, we have to work on that. So likewise, we need to find the weak areas of the student to help them perform.
Right, right. And like how time allocation they should put for each module.
See, I tell them when they come to me, for IELTS, you need to give 3-4 hours in a day if you need to pass IELTS. Otherwise, it's not possible. It is not possible. Because 3-4 hours, not at a stretch, you can divide your time throughout your day. But 3 and 4 hours is a must for any student who prepares for IELTS.
For how long?
Be it a professional. Sorry?
For how long? Like 1 month?
Depends on their ability, maybe 30 days, 40 days, even 2 months. How good they are, how good they improve. They'll understand, once they start the practice, they'll understand. Yeah, I'm going towards my goal, or I really need to work some more. So that they understand, because the most important aspect of this exam is wherever you want to go, they give you the score or the band beforehand. So you need to score this much. So once you know your score, you know your ability, you can just do it. You can prepare. Not a
Right,
problem.
right. That's great. So on to the same thing which you mentioned just few minutes back, like if somebody is weak on one module, we should focus more time or allocate more time onto it. So if for
Exactly.
an instance, one person is weak in listening and he put up or she put up more time onto it and lack some of the things on the other module, so would that affect onto the other one?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Because you are giving 3-4 hours in a day, as I say. So maybe in that 3-4 hours, you're giving 2 hours for that particular model. The other 2 hours are there still. So that you can divert for your other modules as well. It doesn't happen actually that way.
Correct. Great. So if I talk about you again, so are you an introvert or an extrovert kind of a person while facing your audiences?
What do you think?
I know, but I still want you to answer.
Well, I was an introvert before, but in our field, we can't be introverts.
Correct.
We need to be super extroverts. So that is how I would say I am today.
Right. So what are the pluses of minuses of being an extrovert?
See, there are pluses only. I won't say there is any minus being an extrovert. Pluses would be that the audience can immediately relate to you, you can relate to them, and there won't be any void between you and the audience. And the moment you start talking, everyone wants a smart person around them. No one really looks for someone who can't talk or someone who is a damp squib. So, you get that immediate attention that you need or that you require for any field. So I think that's an advantage, and even students listen to you. That's the greatest advantage.
Correct, correct. So, if I talk about your journey so far, who are the people supported you the most?
Well, initially the dream was initiated by my mother, and then of course my husband. Without him, I wouldn't be what I am today. So in every step, even now, whatever I do, he has been a constant pillar of support. And of course, my son, now he's grown up, he can give his opinions, but all throughout, it has been my husband who has been behind me. So, be it outside, out of the state, or in Hyderabad, or in other places, everywhere he was there pushing me that yes, you can do it. There were many a times that, of course, you will be knowing we have so many issues, even in the corporates when we work. So at times there were problems also. He just calmed me. He said, this phase will pass, so don't give up. So that is something I can really say that I'm very lucky to have it.
Right. That is wonderful. So moving on to the next one, who are the things, people, or maybe how you get your inspiration and motivation from?
Inspiration, yes, there is a lot of work being done, as far as this poor and the downtrodden and these people are concerned. Since I'm into that field, that urges me a lot. For different things, we help the people, we try to help the people. That inspires me, and this trust that yes, we can bring some change, because after all, I feel we need to give back to the society. It can't be always that you keep taking. You have to give something as well. So I feel I have achieved that phase or place where at least I can do, even if I can do 1%, that is a great thing.
Right.
And only when we contribute, because blaming the system or blaming others is easy. But what am I doing? What is my performance, my contribution? That is something I feel matters a lot.
Correct. That is really wonderful. So now if I talk about this thing which is like everybody is talking about success. So what is your take on success and how does it look like to you?
Success, well, I haven't yet received success, I would say. I'm still on the path. And maybe the fruits of success are always sweet, they say. But yes, when you were asking me about my passion and I told you about my students, when I see their success, that gives me a great feeling. I feel very proud. Maybe that is success to me, because I still feel I haven't achieved it, because my pet, my baby, let's speak with precision, hasn't seen the height. Right. So once it sees that height, maybe that will be success for the organization and many students who will be attached with it.
Correct. And the kind of satisfaction you would be getting when they come back to you and say that they have achieved something in their life.
Exactly.
So that is so wonderful. So now we are moving on to the last question. Any message, advice you would like to make to our viewers and listeners?
Well, for the listeners and the viewers, one thing as a trainer and coach I can say is be a good listener. That is very, very important in today's world, and also be updated about what is happening around you, because I see many youngsters. This message again would be mainly for the youngsters. They are only bothered about their work if they're a professional, and house and party. No, that is not the end. You need to know what is happening around you. Same with the students. If the parents inculcate the habit of reading, okay, nowadays you have the facility of reading online, do it. You don't have to sit with a newspaper or encyclopedia, no need. But you need to know what is going on around you, because all the exams, if you see, not only IELTS, even for IAS exams and other things, because I've recently started with the corporate English training for this kind of public service exams. You need to be updated about what is happening around you. So how else will you keep a track? In one day, you can't read it all. So if you keep reading, keep following, then that helps a lot. So that would be my small advice for them.
So that is really wonderful. And if not only as a student, but in our life, wherever we are, whatever we do, if we inculcate this habit, definitely this will give us wonders. Like the results would be immense.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, when you start listening, you start understanding, and when you start understanding, that gives you an edge on any kind of relationship,
Absolutely.
whether personal and
Absolutely.
professional. So wonderful thought
Absolutely.
it was. So I must say it was really amazing discussion with you. You have shared so many insights and so many information related to IELTS as well. And the story about you is really an inspiration to many people, because what happens is when you get into a field where you are trainer, teacher, your objective is not to satisfy yourself, but to support others. And that kind
Exactly.
of passion really is an asset, like to the society. So wonderful having you here on our platform, and I really enjoyed our conversation and looking forward to it. Looking forward to hear more from you soon again. Thank you so much for your time, Debatri. This was really an awesome honor to have you
Thanks
on.
a lot. Thanks a lot for this opportunity, and it was so nice talking to you, Jitendra.
Sure. And also, I will share the links of your social
Yeah,
media so that people can be in touch with you, take your help,
definitely.
guidance wherever they need or wherever they feel like.
Definitely.
So, guys,
Yeah.
don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.
Take care. Bye.